Everybody, please take a seat and a deep breath. Good morning, everybody. On this beautiful, rainy, but yet beautiful Saturday morning. Thank you for being here for Adam today. My name is Yousef. I'm Adam's uncle. And I was thinking about the ceremony today. My North Star was, what would Adam have wanted? So I would encourage you all to muster up some strength and understand that Adam would have wanted us to be here for him, yes, but he also would have wanted calm, serenity, a little bit of laughter, some levity. So keep that in mind. That was our today, we're going to have some of his family members and friends say a few words. Towards the end, we're running a little low on time, so after that ceremony, we're going to take him in the car to the cemetery. There won't be any viewing, there won't be any time for everyone to come around and be close in person. There's so many, it's an overwhelming amount of people here. However, we're going to remember him from where we are, and we're going to remember him again with calm and serenity and some levity and laughter, because that's what he would have wanted. The other thing he really would have wanted was for everyone to donate generously to Yousef and his GoFundMe project. He really would have wanted that. This part of the ritual, of our rituals, is really, at the end of the day, more about us than anything. This is Adam comforting all of us, because we're the ones who need the comfort. So use this time for that. And imagine comforting us with a smile on his face. With that said, before we start, and before I call Alee up to say a few words, just give us 1 minute of your time and let that sink in. This time, the next hour or whatever we have together, is really about having comforting us. Think about him with a smile on his face. Think about him in all of those times that you looked up to him, that made you smile. that he made you feel loved and respected. So we're going to take 1 minute, let that sink in, and then we'll have Alee say a few words. Thank you. Is that recording?
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay? I want to first thank everyone for joining us today. I know it's a difficult time. It's a difficult circumstance for all to come together. But I really appreciate everyone coming in. I know the weather has not been as cooperative. It was pouring rain. But for those of you who know, Adam started having this joy of snowboarding, and I looked it up Mount High, it's snowing this morning. So I think that was God's way of remembering Adam too. I want to thank the family, friends, and the community to hop over. I have a special thanks to Adam's uncle Yousef and Adam's aunt Auntie Arzu, that's what she's known as, for really being the rock of pulling this together in such a short notice. I also want to thank those that couldn't attend. I know there are a lot of folks that love Adam that are outside of this country, outside of the state, or all over the world that couldn't attend. And I think the family has actually zooming this and recording it, so the feature for those who can attend that can at least see the love that this room has for Adam. And I also want to especially thank the Islamic Center of Corona for opening the doors to the community. We had his prayers yesterday. It gave me a lot of peace that I have been struggling with for the past week. I get a chance to touch him and hold him and sing my lullaby for one last time. But again, I want to thank the Islamic Center for opening the doors to every one of our all faiths to come here and really celebrating Adam as the man that we know. So I'm going to start with Adam's history, and then I'm going to take you back through the different sides of Adam and how Adam impacted different folks in our lives, and especially myself. So Adam was born on June 22nd, 2006 in Saddleback Memorial, Living the Beach. He was 2 weeks late. He had to be evicted. He came out right on time. Not right on time, but he came out at the plan. However, when he was born, he had his cord wrapped around his neck. And when he came out, he was dark blue. No, I never knew that. I didn't see that. Like, okay, I heard the kids were coming out, the color changes, so it wasn't not a big deal. Until later on, the doctor said it was cord was wrapped around his neck. But that was his first challenge in life. Then, the first couple of weeks was fighting jaundice. We had to put him on a light. And for those of you who know Adam hated lights. His room, always had his blinds closed and just playing his computer. So I think that was probably the initial why he hated lights so much. For the first was like a year and a half or so, we would not go to sleep at all at night. We could not figure out what it was. He wasn't colic or anything like that, but with Mona's persistence, we were able to go through the doctors in LA or San Diego, and they all found he had some weird protein allergy. Adam was one of those kids that always had this out of the field things that we have to manage through. So he had that milk protein, so we got him off of that, and he was able to sleep through the night. When he was an infant, I think he was 9 months old, ironically, we had gone snowboarding, and I think Mona in the first 10 feet fell and broke her wrist, and was in a cast. I thought it was like 6 months, but apparently it was only 3 months. But it fell. But during that, the speed of 3 months that Mona was in a cast, I had to step up and do his diapers, feed him at night, feed him. And even before this week, I always told Mona I was so grateful for that time that I had with Adam. And at that time, I don't know why, that's not a thing for me. So I had to make one up. So I made one up for him. Amber knows it, and I think she gets triggered every time I sing it. So I'll hold on to that for now. We had gone, I don't know where we were at. He tried eggs, he had allergies to egg. But he overcame that. I think later on, he loves, scrambled egg. He went with Luci working out at Jemi in the morning, and he'll come home like 4 or 5 scrambled eggs. He also had allergies to peanut. And his allergy to peanut was bad enough that it had to been with EpiPen. Never had an episode, but for some reason he overcame that. And Adam had overcome all of these challenges, unknowing to why. And the doctor said, yeah, 20% of the kids overcome it, but somehow Adam was one of those 20%. Later on, he was diagnosed with a genetic heart disease. His heart valve wasn't properly closing. And the most wrenching, and I thought it was the most wrenching story that I ever was told by a doctor, was that his life expectancy was 40 or 50. That was a gut punch to any parent to hear, but God, man, I wouldn't trade anything to get that 40, 50 years today. He had that every year. He went to the doctor, and suddenly one year, and the doctor says it's a genetic thing, it doesn't go away. Hopefully by the time he's 40, 50, the technology will advance and have the heart valve replacement, he'll be fine. But suddenly, it was 3 years ago, we went to the doctor, he has done an annual checkup, and said, we don't see it anymore. I'm like, how do you explain that? Like, we can't. He was tested year after year after year, was confirmed, but magically that boy overcame that challenge too. He was diagnosed with celiac. And if you, for those of you who know him, he loved his gluten-free food, and he loved his, he didn't let him define him. And then Adam, the science, the brainiac that he was, he had somehow figured out on his own that certain food don't rest with him well. So even before he was diagnosed, majority of the food he ate was gluten-free, which was again, one of those weird things that Adam figured out life on his own. But again, all of these challenges never really defined who he was. His love of sport was wrapped more around being with friends and hanging out with his buddies rather than the game itself. He couldn't pitch a ball to save a life. And luckily, Dad was a coach, and he was able to be outside of the third, from a little bit closer from third base, from right field. And I appreciate his brothers also helping me coaching his both stuff. He played Little League for 3 years until he got into junior high, and I think he just kind of evolved from that. But when he went to the game, it was not about the game. It was never competitive. It was like, I'm hanging out with 12 of my cool friends. I know many of us. And that really put him on this trajectory of realizing the world is bigger than him and how he is really a facilitator of making the world a better place. And then because he did that, he never actually got a chance to graduate from 6th grade. And then a little bit later, COVID hit. And because of COVID, 8th grade graduation was the drive-by because a piece of paper and go. So he never really had an 8th grade graduation. Like many of his friends in his age group, the senior year would have been his first graduation since kindergarten. And unfortunately, he will not be able to do that. I honor his school to allow him to graduate at the end of the senior year. So he will have earned his diploma as he's already met all of the requirements. He just was waiting for the last couple months to just walk by. So school, friends, and family were his life. He got the joy out of it. In Santiago had been in his home. That what his happy place was. He loved going to school and learning. The reason I tell you all this is because through all his adversities, he never let them define who he was. Whether it was his medical condition, his lack of sportsmanship, not sportsmanship, but sports capability. And that's what he gets from me. That's definitely from me. He never let it define who he was. He was never felt as a victim and always questioning, like, why is this happening to me? It was just like, okay, let's go to the next thing. And I believe that he would want us to be the same today. That the adversity and the pain that we're feeling today should not define who we are and how we move forward, but rather learn from it and adjust where the life's going to be moving forward. Now I want to talk to you about different sides of Adam. Many of you know Adam in different avenue and venue, but I want to tell you the different sides of Adam I know. And you're going to hear more about that from his different teachers and friends and family and siblings and cousins that are going to come up. So I knew Adam was curious. He wanted to know not just how, but why things worked the way he did. He put a lot of effort to self-study. He learned physics on his own. He was, most kids are watching YouTube, parents too, watching TikTok and YouTube, and there he is, watching YouTube videos of physics formula and how the universe works. And you wake up in the morning, you hear this video playing, you go in his room, and he's watching his physics videos. He's the only person who orders open book boxes from Amazon and his physics books and math books. That's the stuff that he was ordering from Amazon. He self-studied some of his AP tests because there were subjects were not in school, so he was self-study those AP exams. And we had a guest room downstairs, and at some point he took over that and became his office, for lack of a better word. And he has a big whiteboard that he would write the formula that he wants to work on, and he would just sit there and contemplate and work through these formulas in his own. And that was his study room. And when he wanted to go to sleep or just relax, play video games, then he went to his bedroom. So that whiteboard is still up there. Anyone has any physics formula that they want to work out, just come on over. Then it was Adam, the teacher. He loved passing the knowledge that he had and share it with others. He would try to explain his basic and calculus concept to us. And all I could do just nod my head and maybe ask a question and make it sound like I know what he was talking about. And he would just keep going on. So many friends and parents have reached out to us sharing how Adam helped their kids or helped them through school with whatever difficulty they had from an class background. He wanted, his goal in life was to be a physics researcher and at some point become a teacher or professor. And that's what his passion was. He recognized that he's not going to make money off of that, so I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But after Adam, the teacher, it was Adam the adventurer. Adam had a sense of adventure and thrill-seeking that combined with his curiosity made him want to enjoy every opportunity the world has to offer. I remember the first time we got him like what was called a crazy cart, which is like what I thought was a go-kart, that you just basically press and go. But he had a little handle, like you pull it, it would spin and skid. Didn't know that had that. My bad as a parent. But he was, I don't know, like 7, 8 years old, and he figured that thing out, and he was just skidding around the street, and that was like this thrill of excitement that took over him. He was the kid that would go to Disneyland. Actually, that was one of our fondest memories. Was we went there one time when he was probably like 3 or 4 years old. From sunrise to sunset, we were there until the park closed. And I remember the first time he discovered Big Thunder Mountain. That boy was so excited we had to go on it 5 times in a row. That was very cute. But he loved that thrill. He loved that excitement. He was a kid that, you know, when we were in Hawaii last, there was an opportunity to go on a couple of mounts, I cannot pronounce, to snowboarding, want to go skating, I want to go surfing. You know, if there was an adventure that you can go and do and learn from and really absorb the world around him, he was the one that was always up for it. He picked up guitar on his own. Like, I need to learn guitar to help his mind, clear his mind from schoolwork. And I told him, you want to put it in class? Like, no, I got a guitar, I got YouTube, we got, and he started learning how to play guitar on his own. For Christmas, he wanted to learn drums, so we got him a drum set. If there was something in his mind, he would just get in the car and go for a drive. He had a maturity sense that he knew when something was bugging him, and he knew how to cope with it and clear his head. So there were times he would just get in the car and drive, and there would be on like 360. I'm like, Adam, you were like all the way up to 15 by Victorville. Did you just make a U-turn and come around? Like, okay, fine. Another time he'll, you know, he'll be on the freeway and like, Adam, you're like in some shady parts of LA. Did you just turn around and come back? He's like, I'm gonna exit. I'm like, no. It was never you know, not answering the phone, not replying to text. But he also knew that he needed sometimes to clear his head, and I really appreciated him for doing that because it showed his maturity. Then there was an Adam with compassion. Adam had a sense of light and right and wrong, along with his moral compass that many of us wish we had. After joining PALS when he was in El Cerrito Middle School, and he got when he went to high school and joined Unity, that gave him a new perspective on life. And the good that he can do in the world, and even closer to home. His exposure to challenges that others have gave him a big heart to help move anybody and everybody forward. What we know about his act of kindness through charity work, what we didn't know was act of kindness toward friends and classmates. Again, the number of parents and students that have reached out to share their stories has been a great healing tool for me. I think just knowing how much he was loved, and if you look in this room, standing room, you recognize how much love he had. And I wish he was. I'm trying to hear see this. And it was Adam the friend. I'm not going to details on it because his friends are coming out. But everywhere he went, he made a friend. Whether it was his long-term friends from kindergarten, junior high, high school friends, to his friends in Unity, and his adventure buddies. And then it was Adam the brother. He had no problem being at the butt of the jokes if it made his siblings happy and laugh. He protected Amber from any harm, including the parents punishing him. He was the one that if Amber did something wrong, and he was even toward Adam, right? So you think most people like, yeah, go punish Adam. Amber, I'm sorry. And there is Adam coming like, no, he's defending his sister. You know, when he was like 4 or 5 years old, whatever, will come in and, you know, argue with us like, hey, leave Amber alone. And nobody could harm Amber except for him. That was his right. He was always playing his brothers. Board games his thing. Every time, you know, Andrew came in town or Alex was coming over, we'll sit around the kitchen table and play board games. And he looked at his older brothers, Alexander, and he adored his sister Amber. Then there was Adam the son, and this is the part that I might cry, so bear with me. His hugs melted me, not just when he was a kid, even when he was a grown-up. In the mornings, when I would get ready, and he's getting ready, we run into the hallway, and say good morning, Adam, and just give me a hug. Sometimes, I'm still getting ready, I might not have a shirt on, he might not have a shirt on, and I just feel his skin against my skin, and I'm gonna miss that. And this was this wasn't a half hug or a little tap in your back, this was arm around, squeeze kind of a hug. His big smile burned my head. Every time I close my eyes, I see his big smile. Sitting on his computer desk, facing me, chatting about whatever. He had his kind voice. His voice and his laughter can make any bad day better. Just knowing that Adam was happy, any struggles, any challenges that I had in my life kind of melted away. He rarely ever raised his voice at us. He was a better me. Since he was born, everyone kept telling me Adam looks just like me. I never saw it until my sister started showing pictures of me when I was his age, when I was an infant, 2, 3, 4-year-old toddler. He's a piece of me. He had my sense of curiosity and wanted to try everything. And I'm grateful as a parent that I was able to give him that opportunity to do that. He was my movie buddy. All the Marvel movies and Star Wars movies that were coming out, he and I would always go together, opening weekends, seeing them. Until he got a little bit older, and apparently, Luci, Collin, Aidan, those guys took my spot, but that's okay. That's okay. And we're actually supposed to see Dune 2. A couple of weeks ago, Mona and Amber were traveling, and Adam and I were home alone. We were supposed to go see Dune 2. And I tried to watch Dune 1, and I could not. I could not. It was like, I'm so confused. And so Adam and I were supposed to watch it again together so he can explain to me before we go to Dune 2. Unfortunately, we never got a chance to go see it. He had a passion for math and science. That was another thing that we had in common, but he was way more advanced than me. I think the highest I got was calculus. And there's my friend James here, and he thoroughly struggled through that class together. He recently got accepted to UC San Diego, which apparently is ranked higher than UC Irvine, which was my alma mater. But him going to UC San Diego, I was so looking forward to it. For those of you who know, I walk down to San Diego and go down there, once or twice a week. And that would have given me a chance to have dinner with him, catch up with him, but still have given his privacy to be a college kid, but not too far where we would have, party 24/7. From what Amber tells me, he may have had my sense of driving, but for a teenager that drove a car for 2 years, he never got a ticket, he never got an accident, nothing. He took care of his car, so I don't know if he got that sense of driving from me. So I think that might have come from his mom. We're planning to visit his college campuses this summer after school. But with him going to UC San Diego, that's like an hour and a half drive, not a big drive. So in lieu of that, he and I were talking about going just me and him trip this summer. Now I want to do a touristy thing because I'm not as good as Adam. I don't want to do something different. He's like, I don't want to go to Europe. That's just whatever. I want to go someplace that I can help people. So we have talked about either Habitat for Humanity or something similar to go out and help folks in need. I'm going way too long. Every father's dream is to see their kids grow and do it better than they did. And in short life, Adam fulfilled that dream of mine. And forever I'm grateful for him for that. I'm also grateful for COVID. Sounds bad, but Before COVID, wake up at crack of dawn, drive down to Irvine, like an hour, whatever the commute was, and get off work at 5:30, drive back. I saw him maybe an hour or two at night. And when COVID hit and remote work came in and had a chance to do this hybrid work, had a chance to be there when he woke up, give him his hugs in the morning and let him go to school. And when he came home, be there when he came home. Whether he was hungry and just go zap some food or whatever it was. But I'm so grateful for the past 3-4 years of being there with him and seeing him grow. I'm grateful for the loving son and the brother he was. Most of all, I thank God that he passed away instantly and didn't suffer anything. I imagine his last minutes, he was laughing and having fun with friends, and he was suddenly taken away. What gives me peace is that his last memories was memory of having fun, having an adventure and being with friends. His memories bring me tears of joy, as I'm grateful for every minute I spent with him. But his potential is what brings me to tears. Tears of sadness that he won't be able to achieve what he was meant to do. He wanted to make the world a better place. He wanted to solve the mysteries of the universe through physics and math. He was looking forward to graduating from high school and going to college. He wanted to take over our home because, as I said before, he wanted to become a professor or teacher. And he knew he couldn't afford a house. So his half was that when you guys retire, I want to take over the house. I think he was planning that the house would pay off by then. His new love of snowboarding ended soon. He just started snowboarding this past winter, and he was out in the slope. Senioritis kicked in a little bit, so he was in school. For some of those absences that we call in, I apologize for lying. But again, school was not a challenge for him. Being out and enjoying the world was what I think he enjoyed. So we were okay with that. He planned everything. He knew his path. When he was applying for colleges, we were asking a million questions. He would not let us. He's like, I got it. And when he explained it, like, oh, that makes sense. He had the soul and the wisdom of a 7-year-old in a body of a 17-year-old. And Mrs. Big curly hair, huge smile, and infectious laugh, and wearing his unity shirt with his brown pants. So what's next? I promise I'm almost done. Ask it. Oh my Lord. Okay. Lauren, where's Lauren? Lauren's the one that usually if I'm on the other side, I'll be like tapping my watch, some of the teams that are presenting. And Lauren won't tell me like just let him go. So thank you. So what's next? People will be telling me to be strong. I don't know what that means in my new world. I don't know how to move forward, but I know I must, and I know I can with the help of others. I know Mona, Amber, Alex, and Andrew need all the love and support they need to navigate through this. The best thing that I can do as a father and a husband is not hide my grief, and then instead show them that it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be tearful while having moments of sanity in this insane world. It's okay to cry, ask for help, and go see a counselor. It's okay to say, I'm hurting. It's okay to say, I'm sad. It's okay to say, I want a hug. What helps me is spending time with the people who knew Adam and learning of the stories of Adam's kindness and the love for the others. What helps me is learning about the impact he had on so many lives. What helps me is being the comforter, not the blanket, but the comforter. One of the things that Mona and I realized that after 20 years of marriage, we didn't know why we didn't connect the dot on this one, is that I'm the hugger and she's not. So for all you guys that will get the door with a hug, that was a very joyful moment of my life. And Mona's not the hug, so if you need a hug, you got to decide. A few months ago, one of Adam's friends, when he was at Berkeley, passed away suddenly as well. And I know Adam was struggling with that. And when he and I had this deep conversation about life and death and what it all means. Here's a summary of our conversation, and I promise this is the end of it. Live a life of no regret. If you have no regret, then there's nothing holding you back from leaving this life in peace. We were not talking about a regret about not having certain things in life, or doing certain activity, or visiting certain places. But regret on the way you left behind you, the people you impact, and the people you may have wronged. Regardless of your religious or spiritual belief and view of life, there's a common thread in all of that. And that is, treat all of the folks how you want to be treated. Treat people with kindness. They're all those religions, they guide us to live a life of no regret. From the endless stories and the different friends, students, teachers, and anyone that knows Adam have told us, I am confident that he lived a life of no regret. I'm so proud of the man that Adam has become. He was what I aspired to be one day. Thank you.
I'm going to ask one of the flower experts.
My name is Jemi Thompson, and I had the distinct pleasure of having Adam in class for 3 years. I run a leadership program in Santiago called Unity. If you didn't see him on all of his clothing. The goal of Unity is to break down walls of discrimination by helping people understand that we are more alike than we are different. Our motto is that it's hard to hate someone once you know their story. Over the past 3 years, I estimated that Adam and I spent about 600 hours working on projects together that we thought would help other people. Adam loved Unity. He lived by it. I think he got more aware of his Unity clothes than anybody else. Adam and I bonded over our passion of making the world a better place, as well as the beauty we both found in math and physics. If you didn't know there were other people that liked math, physics, and helping people, there are more of us in this room. At any given time during last school year, I could look over to find complex calculus problems on my back whiteboard. Adam would be furiously working out math problems because he loved it. That's how passionate he was about math. I'm a math teacher. I had a degree in that stuff, and I could not keep up with him. Adam was our unofficial math, chemistry, and physics tutor in Unity. He had many goals. He had an amazing ability to break down complex physics concepts to help other people understand it. It was really a gift of his. When he was 16 years old, I definitely believe that teaching physics was his calling, as well as philanthropy. Okay, so a story. Last school year, Adam was vice president of Unity as a junior. And as last year wrapped up and his senior year started, I began trying to figure out who's going to be the president this school year. Is it going to be Adam, or is it going to be one of our other experienced leaders? In Unity, we elect our officers after the fall semester has began. That way students get an opportunity to know each other and see each other before voting. So it's a few weeks into the school year, and I put out an interest form for officers, and 3 people are interested in being president. Adam was one of them. So I tell students to prepare a presentation. We'll present next week, and we'll vote. So it's presentation day. People have come up with all these presentations, all these reasons to plead their case. And I tell the class that we're going to go in reverse order. We're going to do president candidate class. Adam raises his hand and then he stands up. He doesn't wait to be called on. And he says, I'm going to go first because what I'm going to say might change what we do today. As a teacher, I was curious and skeptical of what he was going to do next. Adam proceeds to get up and give a speech and lead a 40-minute discussion on why Unity should not have officer positions. Everyone should have equal opportunity, equal responsibility, and equal votes. Decision-making, Unity is not about hierarchy, that's not what we stand for. Yeah, a lot of good points and a lot of convincing arguments. Everybody's a point. He fought for equal rights and equitable access inside and outside the classroom. That's who he was. We ended up not having elections that day. We did make some changes on how things were done in class because of his inspiration. Adam was passionate and he could lead a room. He was charismatic and he made people feel seen. I think that's why there's so many people here today. People felt seen by Adam. He did a great job connecting with people, making eye contact, and really being a good listener. I can still hear your voice and your laugh, and I'm so afraid of that being. You got one of the most genuine smiles. Thank you for everything that you taught me. I'm so grateful that I got to know you so well. Thank you for being somebody that I could trust and for trusting me enough to open up to me. It was an honor to be next to you. And thank you for introducing me to humor. To the Nemat family. Thank you for raising such an incredible human who has more perspective than most people twice his age. Thank you for sharing him with me, for letting him attend lots of events and staying late at school and coming early. I will always love him. And even though I gave him a hard time every single time he did a handstand inside my classroom, I wish he could show up to class wearing his brown corduroy pants, his Unity shirt, and doing random handstands and cartwheels. Because the world was better when he was here. Thank you.
Now we'd like to welcome Mr. Sum.
I'm Mr. Sum, and I did teach Adam some physics. But he did a lot of that on his own. Showed up well prepared. I'm going to read because I won't be able to do this. Today we celebrate the life of Adam Nemat. Some might say it was a short life, and I would say that it was cut short, but very full. Adam was in the process of living a full life. He lived a full life every day, and he didn't waste a single day. As children, we dream of what might be when we grow up. As young men and women, we hopefully begin to make those dreams a reality. We often change our dreams and work on those. Some of us spend a lifetime and never make our dreams come true. I say Adam lived a full life because he was making dreams come true. His, yours, mine. He made people laugh. He made them better. He cared about people. He worked very hard at his life and at life and never took the easy way out. He accomplished more in his 17 plus years than some do in a lifetime. As I spoke with Adam's friends and family this week, I was privileged to see so many parts of his amazing life. Alee, thank you for sharing so many more today. I was so unaware of so many of it, so much of it. I wish to share one with you as well. Whenever I have been forced to be absent from my AP Physics class this year, I could just count on Adam to sub for me. Sub and food. And we have to have an adult in the room. But with little notice, to gladly step into the role to lead the physics discussion, to give problem solving insight, and to simply teach the students in his absence. He loved physics and math, and he loved sharing his tremendous knowledge with anyone who would listen, even if we didn't understand what he was saying. I always knew he zoomed past my pay grade regarding knowledge of physics. I could trust him with my class because of what I saw in him. And I hope that upon my eventual retirement, he would take my position at Santiago. It was a dream and a hope. As I stated earlier, life's a process. Adam was in that process. And for some reason that you may never know, he cannot continue it. But I say no. They say we can honor Adam by living out our lives in his example, by caring for others more than we care for ourselves, by making others feel safe, by helping out, by spreading joy to others. Adam was not about himself, he was about others. He made it about somebody else and not himself. He understood that we can be better than ourselves by making things better for others. We can be Adam. We can do Adam's life for him. Whether we help feed the world's hungry, help your teacher start a club, organize a blood drive, or just donate blood, tutor someone in physics or calculus or the way of life, donate to Yousef in his name, help tend the garden that will be planted by the chemistry lab, become a physics teacher, or go skydiving on your 18th birthday with your mom. I challenge you to help me live Adam's life for him, for his family, for his fellow sharks, and for all the people of the world. As I look around today, I see a multitude of family, friends, classmates, a tremendous outpouring of love and support for a young man we all miss deeply. I'm reminded of this past Monday morning. After hearing the worst kind of news and crying many tears over the weekend, I thought I could stay composed. On Monday morning, as I walked to my classroom, I passed by the chemistry stockroom doors and the concrete planter where Adam and all of his chemistry lab aides would hang out. An ever-growing gathering of students had assembled around this makeshift memorial. You've seen pictures today, so many flowers. I broke down right there, of course. So much for being strong. I went to my room. A student came by to check on me. I was attending to my morning routine. I noticed the daily quote that students read as they enter and walk by my room. Something about stupidity. I said, that won't do today, not today. I asked him for a suggestion. This student, and without delay, said, the best flowers always get picked first. Adam was not a flower. He was the whole flower garden. Let's keep him with us. Let's honor him. Let's be Adams.
The long handle.
Every time.
We also have live streaming here for Alee's family overseas. They're watching, so Ibrahim, Ali's dad, Salam, and Ali's family, and also Mona's dad, also. Jemi via Zoom, Mona's dad, Salam. Okay. So we have Adam's friends from Unity. We're going to see some of his friends from school, and then one of his cousins. Just 3 more, and then we're going to close out with this piece. And sibling as well. Just be patient, take a deep breath. I know there's so many people here. Make yourselves comfortable if you can. There's some seats up here if you'd like to sit. You're tired of sitting. And just be here with us for a little bit longer. And then we're going to have Adam's friends from the Unity come up. Friends from the Unity program.
You already turned on the camera?
Hi, I'm Aidan, and I'm just gonna talk really quickly about my experience with Adam Unity. As I stand here today, bidding farewell to Adam, a cherished member of our Unity family, I reflect on the impact he had on my life. It was Adam's suggestion to apply to Unity during our sophomore year that led me to this remarkable community. He not only introduced me to a group of strangers, but also paved the way for the deep connections I now hold here. Adam's warm welcome encouraged me, and an introvert by nature, to blossom within this family. Throughout the past few years, Adam would always sign me up with him, whether it's lunch activities, going to classrooms, and the various other things we did. The one thing that always confused me was how he spelled my name. He got every possible combination of Aidan and combined it into one, even adding some letters I've never seen used in my name before. Adam and his passion for serving others extended beyond our Unity walls, leaving a permanent mark on all who knew him. Although Adam may no longer walk among us, his spirit of kindness and generosity continued to inspire me. I'm forever grateful for the role he played in shaping me into a better individual. Thank you, Adam, for your leadership, friendship, and the profound impact you had on my life.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. Verily it belongs to God, and verily we return to Him. My name is Asir, and I want to tell you guys about the first instance I met Adam. It was Unity Day, October 20th, 2021. I saw Adam working the booth for Unity as part of this event. He was wearing a bright neon orange shirt with an orange tutu around him. And I thought to myself, I was like, wow, Unity is really interesting. But if you told me that joining Unity was the best decision I've done, it wouldn't hold a candle to a true impact Unity and Adam had on my life. It was through joining Unity my junior year that I got to become attached to Adam, and whenever lunch arrived, Adam would offer his car to me and all of us since we can't drive. Don't ask how we all fit, but Adam shared everything, and I could go on for years trying to explain everything he's given me, but it still wouldn't suffice to show his kindness to this world. To be honest, every single good memory I had in Unity was with Adam, and I had so many countless memories outside that I can never forget because Adam made my life so memorable. The impact that he's had, not just on our lives, but onto the lives of everyone he's met is immeasurable. No matter how many times I rewrote this speech, I feel like it will never be enough for the person he was. So I stand here today to say thank you, Adam, for showing me and showing everyone the beauty of this life. I'll try every day to do the impossible tasks trying to pay back the kindness that you showed me in this world. Thank you, Adam. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Elijah, and I stayed here with you today to mourn the loss of my dear friend. During Adam's time with us, he touched countless lives not only on the physical, but on the emotional level as well. I admired Adam greatly. He was someone I looked up to as a role model, a best friend, and an older brother. He was somebody who embodied compassion, kindness, motivation, and a drive to always be the best version of himself. I could have never expected for his time here on Earth to be cut so abruptly. It breaks my heart that I can't sit across from him and share a meal with my buddy one more time. And though Adam may not be here physically, Adam will live on in all of our hearts spiritually. I remember the first time I met Adam was during my interview for Meet. Adam and I were practically speaking for the first time. It was such a tense environment that would dictate the course of my life for this year, but it felt as though I had known Adam for years. Adam's smile and laugh were enough to light up that dull and quiet room, and growing closer to Adam in unity made me grow as an individual. From one who could barely stand in front of the classroom and solve my math problems, to someone who is able to stand on behalf of him to speak in front of you all now. He gave me motivation to branch out to others just by being himself. From strangers to brothers and sisters in arms, Adam incorporated me into this unity family and made me feel as though I finally had a place to belong. His leadership tendencies and kind heart made him such an irreplaceable part of the unity. Adam would always see the good in others and made it this year's goal to bring all of us closer this year. His loving energy and caring for his friends and family made all those who knew him gravitate towards him, and his goofiness added to his charisma. I loved Adam dearly, and Adam's legacy will live on through all of us. I want Adam to live on through me. And to Amber, though Adam would constantly tell me he dreaded going to school every day, he would always say that every car ride with you made it worth the drive and enduring a grueling 8 hours of school every day. He loved you and wanted to protect you more than anything. He was so proud of how much of an amazing young woman you had become. And to Mr. and Mrs. Nemat, your son was so special. He touched my life so dearly and was an older brother to me that would always keep me in check. I grieve your loss with you, but I thank you so much for raising such an amazing son. Adam will always hold a special place in my heart, and I will remember each and every memory we have spent together. Thank you, Adam, for teaching me how to love, how to sympathize, and how to look at the glass half full. May you rest in peace.
My name is Jocelyn, and among the memorability, I'm also part of Snapchat's speech and debate team. So when I was asked to make a speech, I thought, this is it. This is your thing. But no matter how many competitions you go to, speeches you write, or pieces you perform, you can never be prepared to write a speech regarding the death of your closest friends. I mean, how can I write a speech that can portray the lengths that he took to make me feel at home? That I can hold the weight of my love that I have for him. You were one of the first people I met in Unity. It was at a leadership camp, and I was in a cabin full of men, which was frankly terrifying. And then Aidan and Adam walked in. He was loud, but ambitious, extroverted, passionate, adventurous, and he soon became a brother. In those 3 days of camp, I could never expected how big of an impact he's going to make on not only my life, but on the life of Unity as a whole. He's been with me through good times and bad, times when I needed him, and even times when I was too annoyed to have him around. Adam was my tutor. He would often help me with a physics and math problem that I was struggling with. But it was always frustrating seeing someone not only instantly understand, but solve a problem I've been mulling over for days. So naturally, our lessons would end up in a fight. A fight on who's right or whose approach is more efficient. But no matter how long our stats were, I would always leave the session one lesson smarter than he was walking in. He taught me with a unit circle, velocity and energy, equations, solutions, and so much more. He taught me to be a friend, a support system, a shoulder to cry on, or a hand to high five. He taught me to stand up for what I believe in, and to sit down to stop and cherish what life was given. I would speak with my entire chest and love with my whole heart. He taught me that it's okay to not understand everything, but to be open to learn and grow from my experiences and my mistakes. And even if we stumble, what matters is we don't give up. Throughout my years in unity, I witnessed him be a brother, whether it was helping out the seniors as before with the work they needed, or giving tips for underclassmen, or for a run their journey to success. He was more than a friend. He was family, and he was a leader through and through. So thank you, Adam, for showing us the world through your eyes and giving us another reason to love it a little more.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jocelyn and I stand before you as a commemorative member of the department. Since my sophomore year of high school, I was always in two of my classes, math and unity. Pre-calculus with Mr. B. Smith my sophomore year, AP Calculus BC with Mr. Copper junior year, AP Stats with Ms. Whiteman my senior year, and unity with Ms. Thompson all 3 years. Perhaps it was our silly arguments over derivatives, the unit circle, or even confidence intervals. But before I knew it, I had the privilege of calling Adam one of my closest friends throughout high school. Throughout my 4 years of knowing him, my memories with Adam go far beyond our unity classroom. They remain all over Santiago's campus, Canes, specifically their naked tenders, green tea, Adam had a month-long obsession with their monster boba, whenever I do physics, and anytime I would see anything labeled gluten-free at the grocery store. However, this doesn't mean that his impact within unity goes unnoticed. I can never imagine what unity would be like without Adam in it. With his unforgettable laughter, strong leadership presence, and extremely loud sneezes, I believe that everyone can agree that Adam helps each one of us blossom into who we are today. As for me, while he would always have the strangest ways of expressing it, Adam was always one of my biggest supporters. Whether with my successes and my goals for the future or talks about relationships, Adam was the first to support me in my endeavors. As next week passes by, I find myself missing our disputes, especially whenever I tell him to stop drinking so much energy drinks as he would open his third can of Red Bull. I find myself missing our park benches and lunchrooms, especially with our obsession with canes. I catch myself missing the way Adam would geek out over calculus and business, and even the way he'd humbly flex his slightly better test grades to me. And most evidently, I find myself missing his irreplaceable presence in unity, with his contagious laughter and the strangest ways he'd sit on our desks. Through Adam, I was taught to open up and become a brighter presence. But most importantly, I was taught to approach the world through Adam's selfless and compassionate ways. So finally, I thank Adam for the unforgettable memories and laughters through my treasured years of high school. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hailee, and I have the pleasure of knowing Adam since my sophomore year. This would be our first year of actually being in high school because our freshman year was completely virtual. When we first joined Unity, no one knew each other at all. And I'm not sure when it happened, but before I knew it, the whole class had become a family, and I had gained so many close friends, Adam being one of them. He was a friend to everyone. He was one of the happiest people I'd ever met, and he always had the biggest smile on his face. The most memorable thing about him was his contagious laughter that never failed to make me laugh listening to him gasp for air. My first thoughts on Adam was, there's no way someone actually likes math this much. I thought he was trying to get on Miss Thompson's good side because he was a math teacher, but no. Anyone who knows Adam knows just how much he loves solving math and physics problems for fun. He tried to tutor me a couple of times, but I couldn't keep up with how fast his brain worked. It always ended with Jocelyn stepping in and explaining things to me much slower. When we started our junior year, Adam was the first one to get his license, and this was the first year we were allowed to go off campus for lunch. And every day during Unity, we spent way too much time deciding where we wanted to go. We had a weekly rotation of places we went to, and one of the main places being Taco Bell. A couple nights ago, my mom had me go pick up that for dinner, and I was reminded of a memory of Adam I forgot I had. One day during lunch, we went to Taco Bell, and it wasn't unusual at all. Well, I was. We went to the drive-thru as normal. Jocelyn ordered a fiesta potato, which I did not know was a real thing, and I got a Baja Blast. The ride back to school, I'm not sure what happened, but the fiesta potato was smeared across his windshield and my Baja Blast was on the roof of his car. Adam pulled into the church parking lot, and after a couple moments of silence, he swore at the secrecy to never say a word of what just happened. Sorry, Adam. Adam gave everyone he met so much joy in their lives and lit up every room he was in. Adam was truly a one-of-a-kind individual. It is so rare to meet someone with as much care for others as Adam. He left undeniable impressions on every person he met, whether they're one of his best friends or a random person in the hall he would smile at. From the first time I met Adam, I wished I was more like him. He always looked like he did things so easily and effortlessly, and he always did it with a genuine smile and was happy no matter what task he had to do. I want to thank Adam for making me want to be a better person and giving me so many memories I can carry with me forever. Adam, thank you for being an amazing friend and one of my best friends in high school, and also one of my first friends. Today is my 18th birthday, and Adam was coming to celebrate with me. Instead, I have the honor of celebrating with him today and honoring his memory. Your beautiful spirit will never be forgotten, Adam. Thank you for everything. Hi everyone, I'm Amy, and I was gonna think that on a Saturday I would be writing a speech for a friend of brother Adam. I knew Adam through Unity, we would talk, but when I truly knew who the real Adam was, it was through youth school. We were trapped in the same room for 7 hours, either painting or drawing, but I'll never forget how loving and how incredibly joyful Adam was. Whatever he went through or what he was going through, he would always find a way to still be there for others. I still remember that summer I had been going through some troubles with some friends and family, and Adam offered to listen to some music together to calm me down. So he initially asked me what music we should listen to, since we both had very different music tastes. I said I like any music, so he played a song, Lord of Tressorhorn, once, or so I thought, but this began the unending song of the entirety of summer school. Never did I think I would miss listening to such a song with Adam, but it connected us. Even though we were at school for art, Adam always had a way to incorporate math through decimals. He would always attempt a drawing, which I missed, and seeing the way he would draw people like Yousef. And everything he did would always bring a smile, not only to my face, but the faces of others. His whole entity lit up a room. Frankly, I know Adam is still with us. I know this because Adam had a very bright spirit and had an infectious laughter, but he will always forever remind me of the rain, hail, snow, or the gloomy clouds, because he would always appreciate the things, even when they didn't look so happy. I love the way that Adam always found a way to make someone's day without even knowing it. And I love the way that Adam had a way with words, which not only made me feel seen, but made so many others feel seen. Although Adam is no longer with us, he had such a profound impact all of our lives. Even with his unique music, he will always be a bundle of joy that I'll miss and cherish to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Obviously, we're running a little over. It means a lot to the Nemat family, and it would mean a lot to Adam, the way you're attentively and respectfully hearing his friends out, listening to them with love. It means a lot that these young people express themselves. So more of his friends are going to come and speak. So thank you for staying with us. We're going to do a video. We're going to do a take 2 on Adam's teacher. We're going to try it again. Dr. Lachman.
Hello, everyone. My name is Branton Lachman, and I teach chemistry at Santiago High School. I am sad not to be here today to grieve together for Adam's passing, yet celebrate his extraordinary life. Right now, students and I are in transit to Ireland and England, and I know Adam would want them to experience the larger world, as he was able to do. Adam was a 2-year lab assistant in our program. This year, he was co-chief lab assistant with his childhood friend, Alexandra Lawson, and together they mentored 22 other lab assistants. I got to know him very well, especially after we traveled with other students and some of his great friends to South Africa last summer. He was kind, gentle, playful, and adventurous, with a keen sense of humor and a desire for equitable justice for everyone. So, Adam almost killed me. We had stopped at Grasskop Gorge near Johannesburg to walk the suspension bridge over the very deep gorge. Well, they had cliff jumping, certainly off itinerary. Adam led the way and all of us did it, although the operators definitely had second thoughts when they saw me step up. But they figured if Miles could do it, so could I. Adam initiated this, and it has become one of my fondest memories in my fairly adventurous life. Adam was a trickster. His lab demos and the sometimes oddball narratives accompanying them were hugely entertaining to the class. But sometimes you could almost hear an evil laugh lurking underneath. I would like to share a prank from just a couple weeks ago. In our stockroom is a lab refrigerator. For the first time since this campus opened, lab assistants have taken to writing on it with dry erase marker. I have no idea why this took over 25 years to happen. Anyway, one morning I saw a message on the fridge, and I quote, "PSA, good lab assistants can identify all chemicals by taste. Get to practicing." And it was signed Alee for Alexandra. Of course, none of us ever believed that. It was pure Adam. Adam was passionate about equity, opportunity, and access for everyone. He was deeply moved when we visited the orphanage in Langa Township in Cape Town and was determined to make a difference. Just a week ago, I noticed in our stockroom a plastic tub of Unity Club fundraiser candy with a note on it from Adam stating, "Free for everyone." Rather than depriving anyone of a treat, he himself bought the entire tub freely to share with everyone. In the last few days, as students and others have grieved in my classroom and at the memorial just outside our stockroom, they've had a chance to take a piece of that candy from that tub and savor the literal gift of sweetness that Adam gave to everyone, and remember the sweetness of his whole person and actions. I understand that tub is here today and that the family will invite you to do the same. This is who Adam was, and this is how I and so many will remember him. He made a difference. I have just one more thing to say. Adam's life was cut short, but he left this life carrying a great gift. He was one of the very fortunate who were loved completely and without reservation through the end of life on this earth. What a great gift you were able to give him. I hope that amid the pain of his passing, this might bring some comfort. Well, maybe just one more thing. Do not identify all chemicals by taste. Thank you for letting me share.
Hi, I'm Collin Bear. I'm a close friend of Adam's, and the memories I've shared with him have been countless. This past winter, I watched Adam go face first in the snow more times than I could count, and it never broke him. He'd always get back up. It was always a weird feeling of going with Adam, because I get these random spikes of courage as if I can actually hit that jump. Of course, most of the time I'd get hurt, but Adam just had that effect. The thing I'll never forget about Adam was his smile and his ability to change the mood of a room. I have zero dull memories with Adam. I literally don't think there's ever a time a group would be with him and he didn't have us all cry laughing. Adam was also the kindest soul. He cared so much about everyone around him. He truly wanted to make the world better. There was never a place for hate in his heart. The hours following Adam's death was a day I will always remember. The cold, rainy weather felt as though the universe wept for Adam with us. Leaving Adam's home that day, the sun began to shine through the clouds, warm the earth as Adam wanted to. I believe there's something very beautiful and poetic about the sky in those moments. To Adam's parents, I appreciate your strength and courage through this past week. Although I know not your true feelings, seeing you guys fight has made me feel so much stronger through these very difficult times, and I'm certain that others would agree. Thank you, Adam, for the summers at your house. Thank you for the scrapes on our arms. Thank you for the laughs. I have so many stupid hours staying up all night playing the dumbest video games with you, and I find myself so grateful for those times. Thank you for all you've given and taught me. I'll never forget your kindness, passion, and happiness. I'll miss you, dude.
Hi everyone, my name is Lachman, but most of you guys probably just know me as Alee. If somebody were to ask me to picture Adam right this moment, it wouldn't be him with shaved red hair and industrial piercings, or long curls or a comb over, or with UC Davis sweatshirt, but as a very, very tiny kindergartner. Adam and I first met each other at Wilson sitting on the rainbow carpet. We bonded over the fact that our names both started with an A and we both had a black dog. From that point, we really couldn't get away from each other if we tried. He was my abuela's neighbor, we were in the same classes in elementary, we both went to the 6th grade program, and we both joined leadership groups at ECMS, so our paths converged quite often. We became real friends, though, in 8th grade right before quarantine hit, and I think it's changed my life forever. I still remember exactly how. Adam, along with the other guys, were talking about their Terraria world in Duke Fishron, and I overheard and joined the conversation, letting them know about a hack my brother and I had found about collecting unlimited truffle worms. I also remember the look on all of their faces as they realized that girls were real people, and even more so played video games. If I didn't connect with them online then, they never would have become my best friends over the course of 2 years while the world was shut down. I will always look back on staying up late, absolutely ruining my sleep schedule, playing Gartic Phone, and just talking to Adam one-on-one about the meaning of life as some of my favorite memories. Adam and I also went on the South Africa trip with Dr. Lachman, where we explored a whole new part of the world and gained such an insightful perspective on the impact we can have on others. From sleeping on each other's shoulders on the 16-hour plane ride, running to make connections, banging on his door when he didn't wake up for breakfast one day, and him begging me to record a montage of him cartwheeling across the country, are all tidbits of a trip that I couldn't summarize to somebody if they gave me a whole day to do so. In school, Adam and I were the first ever co-chief lab assistants of the chemistry department. The actual process of becoming them was interesting, with Maggie having to make 2 whole new positions just because they couldn't decide between the 2 of us. You see, Adam was always more social than I am, better at mediating disputes and helping people make compromises, and I just knew more chemistry than him. Thus, they made me the chief lab technician, handling the more technical aspects of the job, and Adam the chief lab manager, where he oversaw the other 23 lab assistants in the program and communicated with them. We were 2 sides of the same coin, each embodying a different important part of the position, and thus they took us both. From there, we worked together in everything, and the 2 of us were actually just in the process of creating the senior lab assistant stoles for their graduation when he passed. I think he would be smug to know that I ended up going with his initial design, of which I previously vetoed. Over the past week, I've been thinking about things that I could have possibly said or done to change the outcome, but I know that's not what he really would have wanted, so I've been trying to change my perception and take after him a little bit more. He was always the person to look on the bright side of things, much more than me, finding the silver lining in an otherwise bleak situation. That's why I'm confident in saying that I think he would have been fiercely proud of the way our community has mobilized over the past week. Adam, I am wholly confident that we will meet again one day. So until then, please take care, and I will see you soon.
We hear from a few more of Adam's friends. Please step up.
Hi, I'm Kendall.
Hi, I'm Leah, and I'm gonna say, a couple words about Adam. It is with the utmost pride that we are able to have the privilege to call Adam our friend. High school is a time of constant change and self-discovery, and I'm lucky to have had Adam be a constant force in my life, having no shame in telling me from when I was wrong, yet celebrating and supporting me through all small victories and accomplishments. It is not every day you come by a truly genuine friend like Adam, and someone that can make you feel so included and so seen.
Adam has taught me many things. Adam taught me that you don't need the big things in life to enjoy it. Instead, all you need is your friends. He taught me that having a good laugh could make all the bad things seem so small in comparison to everything else. He taught me not to sweat the bad things and that sometimes it truly does not matter in the grand scheme of things.
Despite our unserious and sarcastic dynamic, Adam had touched my life by showing me time and time again that even when I thought I was never alone. Listening to what felt like hours of college level physics facts, which sounded just right gibberish to me, this was surprisingly when I felt the closest to Adam. There's just something so sweet about having someone to go to and talk about something so unrelated to the other, solely because you're passionate about the topic and felt comfortable enough to explain, and comfortable enough in the fact that the other person would listen. And I'm lucky to say that I had that with Adam.
I've also listened to Adam talk about his love for physics for hours, and he even took it a step further and signed me up for the AP Physics C class, a class I never thought I would need in my life, but now makes me feel grateful I took it because it makes me feel fortunate. Adam also taught me not to drink 3 monsters in a stand of 1 football game, which I would like to sincerely apologize for getting him addicted to energy drinks sophomore year. But most importantly, he taught us memories last forever, and because of this valuable lesson, we will forever know Adam and Matt as our energy drink loving physics enthusiast friend. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Luciano, or depending on who you ask, Luci. And I was fortunate enough to have Adam as one of my close friends. I first would like to say thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Nemat for allowing me to have this moment to speak about the joy that Adam was in my life. Adam loved to debate about random topics, from abstract ideas such as the concept of infinity to minute discussions like if ketchup could be considered a juice. One of the last debates we had was what the reason of life was. He argued until the end that the whole point of life was to suffer. At that time, I thought he was crazy, but now I realize there's some truth in his argument. Everyone will experience difficult moments throughout their lives where they were suffering the most, and for a lot of people, unfortunately, today is one of those days. But like what Adam said, if we don't suffer, we aren't able to reminisce and be grateful about good times in our lives, such as all the summers spent at his house in the swimming pool, or the constant screaming of my name if I happen to do something wrong in a video game. Thinking about these moments are definitely the candles in the dark room, the light at the end of the tunnel, the silver lining of our lives. Memories like these show how great Adam was to be around. He was funny, smart, and not to mention tall. But Adam really was someone people really liked to call a friend. He was always so cheerful even in the gloomiest of times, always so dedicated even when the odds were against him, always so loving when people needed it the most. He knew how to make connections with people that made them feel significant. I want to give my condolences to all his friends, but most importantly his family. Losing a friend was horrible, and I can't imagine the feeling of losing a son. Adam, you'll always be remembered by the many people you contacted, the many people that will forever love you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Evie. Over the past week, Adam has been to some of the most mesmerizing sunsets. They fade into a faint purple as the moon emerges. It's then that the moments Adam and I shared begin to replay in my mind, the times when smiles consumed our faces and his laughter would fill a room. For the first 4 days without Adam, the moon was full. It was complete despite us having lost someone. Someone I met nearly 13 years ago on Miss Kane's magic carpet, which I'm incredibly grateful for and honored to have known such a wonderful and unique person. The words I would use to describe Adam are spontaneous, thoughtful, and calculated. He was a brother, a son, and a friend with his whole life ahead of him. He had so much love to give and always left me smiling, something I always looked forward to, especially during the summer. The summer is where Adam thrived. It was the time of the year when he'd invite everyone over to swim. We would enjoy his dad's tacos, track water all over his house, mess around at Wilson, and inevitably end up packing way too many people into his jacuzzi. It was how we started our summer for the last few years, and to think that that's no longer is devastating. Adam is the type of person you want to have in your life, dependable and compassionate. One night, Adam and I talked for over 8 hours on the phone, and he talked about his mom and Amber sending me photos of him with his dad. He loved you guys so much with everything in his heart. You could feel how much love he had when he talked about the things he was passionate about. You would remember the little things about yourself that other people would tend to forget. Like when he gifted me a tie-dye shirt from Berkeley because he remembered I always used to wear a tie-dye hoodie in middle school. That's the type of person Adam was, and there's truly no one else like him. The world was robbed of the best physics professor, but for a short while, we were blessed with Adam's admirable presence. I hope to see you driving behind me in our matching cars again one day, but until then, let's see you, Adam.
Hi guys, I'm Connor, and Adam was a dear friend of mine. I'll start this speech with a story. It was sophomore year, and Adam, Nick Navarro, Luciano, and I had gone to Not Scary Farm, planning on sleeping over at my house afterwards. We woke up the following morning to the smell of pancakes and bacon. If you know anything about Adam, this is a problem. However, my mom did not like this. She scrambled to find something for Adam to eat, resulting in a plate of eggs. He was so appreciative over this simple plate of scrambled eggs. I tried to find a deeper meaning to this story to share with you guys, however I couldn't. This was just one of our cherished memories that we often look back on and laugh about. I will never forget his laugh. They had the ability to make a quiet room burst into laughter. Writing this speech was quite difficult as it made me face reality. I don't want to accept the fact that my friend is gone. However, he's not gone. He lives on through multiple outlets. He lives on through the communities he's helped build at Santiago High. He lives on through our college journeys as we trudge through our calculus classes, which she seemed to find quite simple. He lives on. I want to offer my deepest condolences to all of Adam's family. To Mrs. Nemat, Adam was so proud of you when you were promoted to a judge. He told me many of his struggles earlier in life and of how proud he was that he made something out of nothing. To Mr. Nemat, Adam spoke on your character, describing that he strived to become the man that you are. Along with this, he and all of us continue to talk about your excellent cooking. You guys raised a truly remarkable son. And to Amber, there are many life skills that you have that he evoked in himself. He was overjoyed on your acceptance into Unity, talking about his excitement to share a class with you. And to the rest of his family, I get to have the privilege of getting to know you, but hope to soon. He's very lucky to have such a strong and supportive family. I really miss him. Adam will have a forever lasting impact on all of our lives. Thank you, guys.
Hello again. As I gathered myself here to honor the memory of Adam, I found myself grappling with the reality of his absence. To his family, friends, and all who knew him, I offer my deepest condolences. Adam's passing has left a void in our lives that words cannot fill. Adam wasn't just a friend of me. He was someone who touched the lives of everyone we met. From our shared experiences to the countless memories we created together, Adam's presence enriched my life in more ways than I can count. We first connected over the fact that we were both iPad kids in kindergarten, spending endless hours immersed in virtual worlds. But beyond the pixels on the screen, Adam was someone who understood the importance of human connection. Even though we were locked in on our screens, we simply enjoyed each other's company. Adam knew how to make every moment count. A few people past school year were wondering when he started heading into music, And it makes me laugh every time because I think it started when we were joking around listening to Mac DeMarco's cover of Enter Sandman by Metallica. His laughter was infectious, his kindness boundless, and his spirit indomitable. Even in the face of hardship, Adam remained a beacon of strength and resilience, inspiring those around him to persevere through life's challenges. Spending countless days snowboarding or skating with him showed me how fearless he was. He would send it down every hill possible and try to do things on a snowboard even I hadn't gone to yet, and this year was his first season. As I reflect on the time I shared with Adam, he taught me to approach life with unwavering optimism, to cherish every moment, to value friendship above all else, and so much more. Though Adam may no longer be with us in body, his memory will live on in the hearts of all who knew him. Let us find contentment in the knowledge that he is at peace, and knowing that his spirit is forever etched in each of our minds and hearts. To Adam's family, I extend my condolences. He always spoke highly of each and every one of you. He was genuinely so proud of you guys. Your loss is immeasurable, but know that you are surrounded by love and support during this time. As we bid farewell to our dear friend, let us hold on to the memories we shared and find comfort in knowing that Adam's legacy will endure for years to come. Rest easy, Adam. You will be dearly missed and never forgotten.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nick. I had the pleasure of knowing Adam since kindergarten, and he will be obviously missed. First and foremost, thank you to everyone for being here. It's clear to see how much of an impact Adam had on everyone with the amount of people in here. And thank you to the Nemat family for raising such a beautiful young soul. A distinct memory I have of Adam would be in 5th grade. Being immature 5th graders, we'd always try to one-up each other with the corniest puns that we could think of. One time, we were outside waving cars in the school parking lot, and he comes up to me and he says, "Nick, I don't know how you do it, but you always have the best puns." Thank you. And he says, "I finally took the extra step. I went home and I looked up top 10 bird puns. But I couldn't understand any, because they all just flew over my head." And then he finished by saying, "Well, this is hawk work." So from here on out, if anyone ever asks me what my best joke is, it's going to be that one. That was the person that I remember Adam as. Funny, kind, resilient, and so strong. And that's what I encourage each and every one of you to be, to remember me. Funny, kind, and strong. And to help out the world, just like you did. Thank you.
So you represent her, Adam's cousins, Jasmine's gonna come up and speak, cousins. Then Adam's siblings are gonna speak, and then, Ian Mona's gonna say a few words. So we're at the tail end. Thank you so much for staying with us and letting Adam's loved ones have their say in remembering him. So please, Jasmine.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jasmine, and joined here with me today is Jonathan, Travis, and Jocelyn, and we are Amber, Alex, and Andrew's cousins. One of our oldest and fondest memories with Adam is the sleepovers we used to have at our Auntie Alice's house, where we would all gather in Justin's room, put sleeping bags on the floor, turn on The Simpsons and Shrek, and watch TV late without telling anyone. Sorry.
But once it came time to actually go to bed, we were all really scared to sleep with Adam because of the fear that he would wet the bed. This became a joke running in our family for years to come. As we grew older, we would have this tradition every Thanksgiving after we would eat the amazing meals that our Uncle Alee would cook for us. We would go to Walmart and Target for Black Friday shopping. We would be out until literally the crack of dawn. It was insane. And one time Amber was begging and begging for a Barbie dream house, and it became a running joke among all of us. But one thing that we never heard from Adam was a complaint. Nothing. He was one of the most humble people that we ever knew, and I think the most humble out of all of us. As he grew older, we saw his maturity come in, and this past Christmas, we held a cousin Christmas where we all came over to our house for 2 nights, slept over. That was when we actually bleached and dyed Adam's hair red for anyone that saw that. And that, amongst other things, gave Adam the crown of cousin MVP that he was known for. And just throughout that whole cousin Christmas, Adam was just always with a smile on his face, ready to do anything. We did crazy things. We went bowling, all you can eat sushi. We even had one of us that pulled the trigger to consume more food. And we just had a very bonding experience, and I think that really taught all of us that we were coming of age to a point where we were starting to really understand each other at an adult level that was different from when we were kids in all of these pictures that you guys are seeing. And it really showed us how humble and modest and happy of a person Adam truly was. Over this past summer, Jonathan and I went to Turkey with our Uncle Alee, and this was during the time that Adam was in South Africa, and the entire time our uncle was just raving about how proud he was of his boy, and it became a very monumental moment in Adam's life that obviously changed the trajectory of his perspective on society, and it will forever be.
She went somewhere with Adriana.
To be a person that was
I'm not sure.
amazing at giving back, humble, nice, funny, adventurous, caffeinated, and who's an all-around amazing person. He will forever be missed by the cousin bunch and will forever be our cousin MVP. Thank you.
Siblings?
No. That's his brother, right there, Andrew. And the other brother is what's the other one? I forget his name.
Hi, my name is Alex.
Alex.
Adam's brother. I was 11 years old when Adam was born.
Yeah.
I still remember the day of the last day of school.
It's Amber, yeah.
I could remember thinking about Adam being born while eating pizza at school. And yeah. It is still pretty hard to think about Adam. It's still pretty hard to think about Adam. But the best part of this week has been everyone around us and everyone coming closer. And that was what Adam cared about in this family. He wasn't one to ditch us. He wasn't one to make plans, forget about us. Just last week, my mom texted me, asked me if I was coming by for dinner on Sunday night. And the only reason she wanted to know was because Adam was going to stay back instead of going out, and he was going to have dinner with us if I was there. And it's those things that Adam does or did that make you feel special. They're small in the grand scheme of things, but he just had a way of making you feel special.
I do really want to thank everyone, like every single one of you guys. It has been amazing to see this throughout the week. All week I've been saying Adam would have loved to see this. Just so much love. I do want to say something to his friends. Seeing his friends feel it has made me feel it even more. As an older brother, I was more like his grandpa or uncle. But at some point, I know Andrew and I had to realize that we have to let Adam go live his life, and we can't worry about Adam, and we have to understand that there will be people around Adam that take care of Adam, and he will have other brothers and sisters and things like that. And so I am appreciative of his friends, Aidan, Collin, Asir, the girls. I'm sorry, I don't know your names, like all of them. Yeah, you guys are amazing, and I know my mom loves to see you guys. And yeah, I love you, and I love you, and I will always love you guys. And I hope we don't have to be back here anytime soon. I love both of you. You guys are amazing. Everyone here has been so great, and I love you.
My name is Andrew. I am the second brother. I didn't write much, maybe because it was a little bit too hard. If Adam could see me this last week, he would roast me for being a wuss. So I just want to talk about how he became who he was. When he was a kid, he was a sweet little boy who was just glued to Yo Gabba Gabba. It was both of them. But then as he was 7 or 8, he got interested in baseball. Well, we made him. And his team sucked. We were the coaches, it wasn't our fault, but his team sucked. But then as he got into became a teenager, he got more into computers. He built his own computer at like 15 or 16. And for a brief moment, I thought he was going to be just as big a nerd as I was. We had similar interests for like 1 month, and then he became too cool for me. But he was very kind. Like, I volunteered because he volunteered. I wanted to set a good example for my little brother. He was brave. He did more in his life than I have. He would never say no to an opportunity because he was scared. And he's overcome so much. As my father said, not only has he had celiac, peanut allergies, egg allergies, a hole in his heart, and he never let it get him down. He never once complained. He just moved past it. I will miss him, but I want you all to know that he would not want us to be sad. He wants us to move on, not move on, but he wants us to be happy. He wouldn't want this to paralyze us. And he just wants us to look back fondly and not let it hold us down anymore. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Amber, and I'm Adam's younger sister. Adam and I are only 2.5 years apart, so we were learning about life and just how to navigate through things together. All throughout our childhood, and even now, Adam was the person I looked up to the most. When we were younger, our parents asked us what we wanted to be when we grew up. Adam said he wanted to be a farmer, so I said I wanted to be a sheep on a farm. It was supposed to be us against the world. We were supposed to spend the rest of our lives right by each other's side. But on Friday, March 22nd, any chance of that happening was ripped away in a matter of seconds. Never in a million years would I have thought that the first funeral I attended would be my 17-year-old brother's. Even though Adam had a joke about it, there was never one moment in my entire life where I doubted whether or not he loved me. No matter how many arguments we got into or what they were about, I knew that he would always be right by my side when I needed him. He truly was and still is my best friend. He knew things about me that no one else did, and I can't wrap my head around the fact that I'll never even hear his voice again. I miss driving to school together and fighting over the music. I miss seeing his smile when I would ask him for help with my math homework. I miss hearing his TV running all night. I miss sitting on boxes of Red Bull in his car just to go to school. I miss seeing him in third period every day. And honestly, I could go on forever about all the things I miss about him. But most of all, I just miss my brother. On Friday, when we were driving home from school, we usually take a specific route to get home. But sometimes we go a different way to avoid traffic, and this way requires us to go down a very steep hill. Adam and I took the second route that day, and I'm sure many of you know how Adam drove, which made going down that hill 10 times scarier. Anyways, after we went down it, I told him how every time we drive down the hill, I start crying, and I'm like, today's gonna be a day, today's gonna be a day. We both laughed about it, but what we didn't know was that it actually was the day, and I'll never forget that conversation. Adam and I had a class together this year, which was Unity, the leadership class. I just remember how excited Adam was for me to get into Unity, and when we found out that I got in, we were both so excited to spend the next year together before he left to college. Last semester, he would always get food during lunch and bring some back for me on the days we had Unity, and at forums, he would always bring us Chipotle since he couldn't eat the pizza that was there. He always made sure I had something to eat and that I was okay. This class has made mine and Adam's relationship so much stronger, and I'll forever be grateful for the bond that we had because of it. Walking into that class on Monday was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. I was trying so hard not to break down when I saw his empty desk. I couldn't stop imagining him sitting in it, talking to his friends, and just enjoying himself. I had gluten-free pizza for lunch on Monday, and it was just so weird not having anyone to share it with. I missed being with him in that class, but I'm so glad we were able to make so many memories when we were in it together. I went through so much in his life, but no matter what he was going through, he would always make sure that others were okay. He was a very selfless person, and I always admired how honest he was. Whenever I would ask him for advice, he would always tell me what I needed to hear, not what I wanted to hear. He never got the chance to go to senior prom, graduate, go off to college, get married, and just start his life. So many opportunities were ripped away from him, and the one thing that I ask is for us to carry on my brother's legacy and accomplish the things that he didn't get the chance to. I know he would be so proud of how close our community has gotten since his death, and how we've all come together to support each other during this time. He truly loved each and every one of us here. I'm so glad that we're all here today to celebrate the life of my brother. Thank you.
Now we're gonna have one come up, say a few words.
We're running a little behind schedule, but we'll be done soon. And I appreciate you guys for a lot of people. You usually see large gatherings like this at weddings and at funerals. And obviously Adam is too young to get married. He was also too young to die. But this is our new reality. There was a before, and now there must be an after. The grief is overwhelming. I keep saying that it's hard to breathe, but that is the only way I can describe it. It hits like waves crashing against the rocks in the ocean. It feels like the ground is going to swallow me whole, and at times I wish it would, just so the pain would stop. The grief is also layered. There is, of course, the grief I feel at the loss of my child, but then there's also the grief I feel for my husband, my other kids, their friends, my parents, Alee's dad, and all of Adam's aunts, uncles, and cousins, and all of his friends and his friends' parents,
and his teachers and his counselors and the staff at school and my friends and everyone else, and I ache for their loss too, because they also lost their Adam, and then I can't breathe. So what happened? I know a lot of you have questions. So I'm gonna go into a little bit about what happened that night, and there's a reason I'm doing that. Adam was at a friend's house. This young lady is part of an extended group of friends, and we had met her a couple of times before. That's what we know. The rest of the information we have is that we were able to ascertain by speaking to the young lady who so graciously spoke to us despite her own pain and trauma, and the coroner who spoke to us the night that Adam died. We have yet to be contacted by law enforcement and the DA's office, or the DA's office. We have heard the same rumors as you, but we are not aware of any pending criminal case, so I want to put that to bed. As we understand it, the young lady's family has a large golf cart type of vehicle, and she, Adam, and 300 other individuals were riding around in the dirt area near her house. Although initially she was driving, another young man insisted on driving. After some protest, the young lady relented and allowed the other individual to drive. She initially sat on the passenger side, but Adam also insisted on sitting in the front, so he squeezed in next to her. Therefore, he ended up on the outer passenger edge. The golf cart flipped. At some point soon after, the driver took a hard turn. We don't know why, and the golf cart flipped. The occupants were ejected, the golf cart landed on Adam. He died instantly, from what we are told. And this is where it gets hard, but it needs to be said. It is our understanding that 3 of the occupants, including the driver, for whatever reason, immediately left the scene. That is something they will have to live with. Them staying would not have changed the outcome from what we understand and from what the very limited information we have, but it would have brought us some more peace. The young lady's leg was trapped. Her phone had been thrown from the cart. Her only recourse, apart from screaming, was to reach into Adam's pocket and use his phone to call 911. That is how we know his approximate time of death. The call was made right around 10:30 p.m. that night. And I hurt for her, because that is something I can't even imagine. We found out an hour later when Alee saw on Life 360 that Adam's phone was at our local fire station. We could not comprehend why. Alee drove down because Adam was not answering his phone, which is not like him. It was there that Alee was informed of the news, absolutely shattered. He was driven home by a firefighter. The minute he opened the door, our eyes locked, and the look on his face told me everything I needed to know. Amber was there too, so in an instant, I lost one child, and I knew that another's whole being had been altered. Earlier that day, our group text, the 4 kids had been active, the kids scooping around and giving each other a hard time. Adam had sent a picture of his laptop with some math or physics equation he couldn't tell, still can't tell, and a Red Bull can. When I got home from work, Alee was finishing up a final call. I checked in with Adam and Amber, as I always do. Walked into his room. How was your day? Good. What'd you do? Nothing. So in second period, and then he would start having the verbal vomit and tell me all about his day. And what he did, we talked about lunch, how he may or may not have left school for an extended period of time to go out to lunch with his friends. We talked about his plans for that evening, what he wanted for dinner. We talked about colleges, whether or not he'd heard back from any. We knew he had plans to go out with friends that night, and we knew where. We did not know there would be a golf cart involved or dirt involved. I don't know if Adam knew beforehand or if it was a spur of the moment thing when he got to his friend's house, and it doesn't really matter. Alee and I are absolutely still shattered and will be for forever, despite what anyone says. He grieves and breaks down throughout the day, especially when he is around other people who are hurting. Nights and mornings are the hardest for me. The silence allows my thoughts and memories to break me. Waking up each morning and recalling that this is still real breaks me. Waking up and realizing my Adam is gone forever breaks me every single day. But Adam also has 3 siblings. Despite their immense pain, they have been there for us. Despite their immense pain, they have been there for my parents. Despite their immense pain, they have put together the slideshow that you see in honor of their brother. Despite their immense pain, they stood before you and toppled their anguish into words. Adam was a duo with his oldest brother, Alex. They were our odds, kids numbers 1 and 3. They shared a wicked sense of humor and emotional intelligence so great that they function on another level in a generous spirit. Alex, too, has lost a piece of himself. Alex is shattered. You can see it in the way he avoids eye contact when he's overwhelmed, or the way he pulls his hoodie over his head. He has his tells despite how unimaginably strong he has been. Adam has a duo in his brother, Andrew. They are our middles. They share an unshakable moral compass, a fierce intelligence, and a heart kinder and larger than any you will ever come across. Andrew also has lost a piece of himself. Andrew is also shattered. His face loses color and he gets quiet, really quiet. He abruptly leaves the room. He doesn't crack inappropriate jokes nearly as much. He has his self despite how unimaginably strong he has been. Adam was a duo with his little sister Amber. They were our littles. They shared a bond that cannot be broken despite Adam's death. He looked out for her and guided her, and she in turn kept him on track. Knew what her things were, knew him better than any of us. Amber is shattered. You can see it in the way, and that's the problem. She's holding firm and going through the motions. She does not show negative emotions easily, but Adam was her other half. I was Adam's mother, but she was the one closest to him, by far. He has her health too, despite how unimaginably strong she has been. To all the people who've been there for Adam's siblings, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Please keep checking on them because they are not okay. We have received countless calls and messages since Adam's passing. We can't even begin to express our gratitude. But truth be told, every single time we've had to tell someone the news, it breaks us into a million little pieces because our grief is compounded by their profound grief of losing their Adam too. Next week for spring break, we were going to go check out Luci San Diego. Instead, we will be going to grief in Collin. There is so much the world should know about our Adam. Some of this I shared online previously when I was still somewhat in shock. The post was a stream of consciousness dialogue. I had this immense need not to have Adam defined by his death, but there's just so much more to him. I also needed to get ahead of the rumors. I didn't want people whispering and speculating about what had happened. I've read somewhere that the CHP has said drugs and alcohol were not involved, and we are not surprised. Finally, I wanted my children to be able to talk about this accident. I've heard a lot about who your Adam was this last week. I'm going to tell you who my Adam was. My Adam is the world's easiest kid. He had a smile that lit up the room. He had a kindness about him that brought peace to those around him. He hated attention. This turnout would have made him melt into the ground. He was a low-key kid who didn't want a graduation celebration. I'd finally gotten him to move the needle from a no to an I don't care for a graduation dinner, which I took as a tool. He was the kid who went early Saturday morning after early Saturday morning in 2021 to food drives hosted by For the People Task Force to help families impacted by the shutdowns. He was involved in his community, which was Santiago High School. He was involved in the Thirst Project, the physics club, and was part of the Unity leadership class for the last 3 years. He was passionate, so passionate about physics. Adam and I took a road trip in late 2022, just the two of us. And for 7 hours each way, the radio alternated between podcasts about physics and childish Gambino. And I could not understand either one. He was a pre-college scholar at UC Berkeley during the summer between his junior and senior year. He lived on campus for 8 weeks and took high-level math classes, a high-level math course and a similarly high-level physics course. He helped run food drives and blood drives and community forums. He did big things and little things with equal passion. Adam was a total math geek and a physics geek, who was an honors kid, who skateboarded and snowboarded, who briefly had bright red hair and industrials, who was passionate about saving the world and making it a better place, who loved his siblings dearly, who gave these big hugs where he would melt into you, who had eyelashes that were so long that they would get tangled, who sneezed way too loud, who loved string cheese, who could eat the same leftovers 17 times in a row, who loved playing chess, who left wet towels on the floor, who had absolutely atrocious handwriting, who could teach himself anything, who could teach anyone else anything, who wanted to be a physics professor. Adam was kind, he was compassionate, and he was caring. And he showed it instead of just saying it. He would go with us to drop off the streets for my dad. He would take Amber wherever she needed to go. He would check in on people. He would just be so kind. There were a multitude of tributes to him posted online since his passing, but there were a couple of comments on social media that really stood out for me for how they exemplified who Adam was. The first was from someone we didn't know. They said simply that they didn't know Adam but wished that they had because of all the great things they knew of him. The second, and this was repeated a few times, was from other parents saying that Adam was their kid's best friend. And that's just it. Adam was everyone's best friend. He made everyone feel special, seen, loved, wanted, and cared for. And that was his superpower. If you didn't know Adam and you didn't get a chance to know him, you really did miss out. Adam was the kid with a giant heart, a beautiful mind, a fierce sense of humor, and a mellow personality, and now he is gone. But we must go on as individuals, as a family, and as a community. There's nowhere to go but forward, and no one would want that more than Adam. To his friends, when you have those moments, and you will, just know that we are here to share in your grief. You also know that I want you to also know that we are leaving his phone on and his social media accounts active. Many of you have continued to text him in this last week, despite knowing he would not respond. Keep doing so if it helps. Also know that we are not reading your texts and not checking his socials. Those are your private conversations with your Adam, and we respect that. But above all, know this. Know that it is okay to smile again, to laugh again, and to feel joy. You have your whole lives ahead of you, and we hope you live it to its fullest. We don't want people to forget Adam, but we also don't want people to get stuck in this tragedy. We don't want his death to overshadow his life. We don't want his siblings to ever feel like they are competing with the memory of him. We don't want this to be the reason that has us holding Amber back from living her best life. We don't want Adam's tragedy to be the reason his siblings and his friends stop loving life. Ultimately, our Adam is gone, and not a single word or deed will change that. Alee and I are both problem solvers by nature and by profession. This will be the greatest unsolvable problem of our lives. But what we want and what we need is for his siblings to heal. We want our parents to heal. We want our family to heal. We want you to heal. We want you to mourn his loss, but we want you to remember him the way we do, with that giant smile, those big eyelashes, that fast-witted sense of humor, and that love of life for life. Most of all, we want you to find peace and closure and move forward. In honor of Adam, go be kind and go do a good deed, no matter how little or how big. We love you and we thank you for being here in our darkest moments. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, on behalf of Adam, his family, his friends, for being here today, for being attentive, loving, and respectful. In terms of the remainder of the day, a few of you may choose to go to the cemetery, and a few of you may choose to go to Circle City directly. Either or is fine. You can go to Circle City right away if you like. Now, as a last act of respect for Adam and his family, we're going to take Adam to the hearse that's waiting outside to my left. I request that until we leave with Adam, until we leave out that door, please maintain silence and be seated if you like. You can stand up if you like as well, but please maintain silence until we leave. I'd like to request Adam's siblings and cousins to line up on either side of Adam here, so we can take him right outside. Thank you so much for coming.